Namaste everyone, welcome back to Ajay Joshi Chemicals. Today's video is an exciting one because we are going to discuss about the electronic chemicals space in India, including the battery chemicals. I will break down the electronic chemicals into four different categories. We will start with semiconductor chemicals, then we would talk about battery chemicals, which is your favorite, and then we have solar chemicals, photovoltaic chemicals, and then we have display chemicals. But the fourth one, display chemicals one, unfortunately the parts are imported into India. We are a net importer, so we do not have any customer as well as any manufacturer in that segment, but I would briefly touch upon the display chemical segment also. Plus, I'm also going to be discussing about who are the players in the value chain and players that are participating in this booming sector. Most important disclaimer that this video is only for educational and informational purposes. So do not consider this video, do not refer to this video while making any investment related decision. Always go to a SEBI registered financial advisor for anything related to investment. It is your hard earned money. Do not rely on some YouTube video or some random social media person. Now without further ado, let's get started. Okay, let's start with semiconductor process chemicals. Now, first of all, most important thing, chemicals going into semiconductor process are not some new generation chemicals that are getting produced now. These are chemicals which have been around us, but now they are getting ultra purified to be used in the semiconductor process. That's why chemicals going into semiconductor processing are called semiconductor grade. So just like food grade chemicals, we have a new category called semiconductor grade chemicals, which mean ultra pure grade of chemicals, which already go into other end industries but are now getting used in semiconductor space in super duper pure grade. Which are these chemicals and where do they go? So first of all, where do they go? Most of these chemicals go into multiple steps of chip fabrication. So the chip fabrication process requires photolithography, etching, cleaning, and doping. You can read about these processes online. So in the chip fabrication process, we have multiple steps. So that's where these chemicals go. Now, which are these chemicals? These chemicals are ultra high purity solvents like isopropyl alcohol, acetone. You have solvents like perfluorosulfonic acid, you have ultra high purity hydrofluoric acid, then certain acids also find application here like nitric acid, sulfuric acid, and then we have bases like ammonia and some more other salts, but mostly it is high purity solvents and acids in the semiconductor processing. And the companies in India, we have of course Deepak Fertilizer in isopropyl alcohol and nitric acid, which is ultra pure grade. We have Naveen Fluorine in the HF and perfluorosulfonic acid. So these are some companies which are foraying into the semiconductor process chemicals space. So we already have companies like Tata Group, Vedanta, Micron, that are in the process of setting up semiconductor factories here in India. We also have a lot of foreign companies showing interest because government is pushing a lot under the PLI schemes. So I do believe that this sector is going to be a major beneficiary, like in Dholera and Sanand in Gujarat. Government has already allocated land and all that to various companies, particularly to Tata, to set up semiconductor plant. So this particular segment I'm extremely bullish. Now let's move to everyone's favorite battery chemicals. Battery chemicals, I think most of you must be familiar with because it has been a buzzword for past 1.5 to 2 years. Let me break down where battery chemicals are used. We have cathode in battery, we have anode in battery, then we have electrolyte to make the flow, and we have binders and additives to keep everything together and balanced. Now in the cathode material part, we do not have much of a play. It's pretty controlled market by China and certain countries in the West. In cathode material, we have lithium, we have iron, we have nickel, we have manganese, we have cobalt. So that's not something where India can do much about, because we do not have much mines to produce these chemicals. So we are import dependent for these metals. They are not even chemicals. But when we move to anode, where graphite is used, so here is something we do have a lot of local players. We have companies like Epsilon Carbon, we have companies like Himadri Specialty, synthetic graphite anode, Epsilon Carbon also synthetic anode material. So we do have companies like Phillips Carbon that might foray into this. So in the anode part of the battery chemicals, we do have a lot of companies that already are showing interest, and the companies that already have something called battery grade graphite. So yeah, this is one segment I was bullish about, but the slowdown in terms of investment on the end side of the value chain, on the customer side of the value chain, worries me a lot. Things are not moving as they should have moved. We do not have the lithium ion battery manufacturing or NMC battery manufacturing facilities in India yet. So we are waiting for Amara Raja, we are waiting for Exide, we are waiting for Ola, we are waiting for a couple of foreign companies to set up the plant. That's what my worry is. Plus anode chemicals, particularly this graphite, synthetic graphite, it's not of much higher value. Plus we do have a lot of local suppliers. Like I said, Epsilon is there, Himadri is there, Phillips Carbon is there, foreign suppliers from Indonesia are there, Chinese are there. So it's an overpopulated space. So that is not something where India might have an edge. But coming to electrolytes like LiPF6, lithium hexafluorophosphate, LiBF4, lithium tetrafluoroborate, that is where something India can have an edge when it comes to supplying to domestic manufacturers. But again, we do need customers to complete the ecosystem. Right now in the battery chemical space, the situation is that we have battery chemical manufacturers in India that have commercialized the products, that have set up the plants, but we do not have end customers. Who are we going to sell these chemicals? That's the problem we are facing right now. We cannot export because China is extremely competitive. So that is going to be one major problem that I see with this particular space. So I don't know how we are going to solve it, but we do need end customers as soon as possible. Then we also need some solvents that also act as electrolytes only. Solvents like dimethyl carbonate and ethyl carbonate, EC and DMC. Then we do need binders and additives. Some fluoropolymers are required, PVDF particularly. So that could be a good play for companies like Naveen as well as GFL, Gujarat Fluoro. In the electrolyte LiPF6, we have Gujarat Fluoro and we have Neogen Chemicals already. They have commercialized the product. One more high growth chemical is catalyst. So in catalyst, we have a company called Tattva. So that specializes in catalyst anyway, with their phase transfer catalyst. When they were sort of the first company to introduce those to Indian market. Now Tattva is also working on certain phase transfer catalysts used in the electrolyte to fasten the process of movement. That could be a good play. And Aether Industries is also foraying into solvents as well as electrolyte additives. Again, you can call them catalysts. So Aether and Tattva could be the high margin players in the battery chemical segment, and GFL and Neogen could be the medium margin players because of their electrolytes, and the Himadris and Epsilon Carbon of the world, the anode synthetic graphite suppliers, could be the lower margin but high volume players in the value chain of battery chemicals. Now let us move to another third category, which is solar photovoltaic chemicals. So this particular segment, we have companies like Wari, we have Adani, we have Vikram Solar, the end customers here. But in terms of suppliers, we do not have much players as of now, because the chemicals needed here are silane gas, trichlorosilane, we need boron gas, we need phosphine. So these chemicals, we do not have much Indian players as of now. Similar is the case with the fourth category, display chemicals, chemicals used in LCD, OLED panels and all that. So these are, color resisting chemicals. These are polyimides, very, very niche chemicals, very low volume chemicals. We do not have any major Indian player, mostly import driven. Everything comes from China. So in the, solar PV chemicals as well as display chemicals, we do not have much India play as of now, and I don't see many Indian companies entering into these segments also. But semiconductor process chemicals and battery chemicals, they have major Indian play. What I would do, I would also list down the chemical names as well as the companies in the comment box of this video, so that it is easier for you to study and dissect this video, because although I have tried to explain everything in a layman's language, also this video I have made in English because a lot of people wanted me to speak in English. So I said, let me give it a try. And this video I made in English. So I hope my Hindi audience also understands that English does help me reach a wider audience. So for that. But yeah, so this was, pretty simple. This video I tried to keep it very simple so that everyone can understand. These are the only 4 broad categories which you need to understand in the electronic chemical space. Everything else is a noise. Everything else, high flying chemical name that you hear, is a nonsense chemical. It would go in milligrams and grams, but these are the chemicals which I shared with you would go into significant quantities, and these are the chemicals where we have an actual Indian play. So I hope this video was helpful, and I will meet you soon with a new video. Till then, namaste and Jai Hind.